Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Seize Your Business. My co-host Kevin O'Flaherty is not able to join us today, so you'll have to put up with me. Jim Wazak, Family Heritage, see me for supplemental insurance. And our guest today is Marina Mattingly. Marina is with Restoration Coalition. So, Marina, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your business and overall general sense.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Jim, for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, we'll be celebrating 10 years this August. It started off as just totally trying to help clients that had claims for insurance-related storm damage or things like that. And it morphed into having subcontractors for everything. So I just find it awesome to be able to help people get them through things that they shouldn't know how to get through.
Right.
I mean, in your business, do you know how to get through that stuff?
Sure. Well, I don't. Yeah,
right.
I would call you.
Right, exactly. Well, thank you. But yeah, so that's pretty much what it involves.
So our topic today is using subcontractors, which I know is viable for a lot of small businesses, and that's really your whole business model, isn't it? What do you see as some of the advantages of using subcontractors? They're your own people.
Well, unfortunately, how I got introduced to the industry as far as the insurance claim part of it was through Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, really? Okay.
So what I saw down there, the company that I was working for, and there was a lot of large companies down there, there was too much damage for the adjusters to be able to qualify every estimate and everything that was put into them. So a lot of things got approved that, let's just say, if they had had more time, would not have. Okay. And so I'll give you, for instance, you have the exact same hotel style and size and everything and has the exact same damage, and one company does it for $365,000 and the cleanup, and another company charges $1.6 million.
Holy cow.
Okay, well, they get away with it, and so you've got $1.3 million that the insurance company's paid out, and they're not going to get it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's going to pay those increase in rates?
Everybody, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even the guys that are working for that company, even the owners of the company that did it. I mean, so I guess with my background being in insurance, I see both sides of it, and it's kind of like ruining the system. You can't do that. I mean, you're cheating.
Somebody forgot to turn their phone off. He could edit that sound out. Sorry, everybody. Okay. We want to continue to have that homespun appeal, so we've got things like that. We throw them in there on purpose, actually.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead.
So basically, that was just my concept was, what can we do to do it a little bit differently? And so working with that company and some other insurance companies, getting through Katrina and a couple of other hurricanes and their claims, it was just like there's nobody out there who's an advocate for the client. Like, literally is on the client's side, and I don't get paid by the client. So I can spend 10 minutes with them or 100 hours, it doesn't matter. But it's like somebody to hold their hand through it, because how do you know? You know, how do you really know? So I've had the blessing from God that I have been able to be introduced to honest, hardworking companies that have that same ethic. And believe it or not, they're still in business and they're not cheating people.
Yeah,
what a concept.
That's good. Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
Because it's just going to catch up to you eventually, I believe. So yeah, it's that's what I found.
How do you sort of distinguish the honest, reliable ones from the either less capable or those with less integrity?
There's a lot of discussion amongst industry people.
Okay.
And and honestly, maybe it's a God thing, but I meet the people one-on-one, the owners of the company, before they become part of the conglomerate, the coalition.
Yeah.
And I can usually tell within 5 minutes if there's somebody I want to work with or not.
Okay.
Because there's certain guidelines that I ask them to meet as far as producing estimates and what time or when I'm involved with things.
Right.
And if they don't want to, then that typically means they're not capable of even supplying that information to the client, which the client, by the contract, says that they need to have these dates. That's when you get into those people that have a fire. and they should not be out of their house for more than a year.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
you're not going to be moved back in 3 to 4 months,
Yeah.
but there's just things that can be done differently in the industry to help the client, and the insurance company then is paying for a product that is worthy of it.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that a person should be aware of if they have some kind of a natural event that damages either their home or their business?
Okay, well, the first thing I suggest is that if you do not have your insurance agent's phone number, and I'm not talking their office, I'm talking their cell,
Mm-hmm.
or knowing that office answering that voicemail is going to be picked up every couple of hours, especially when you're in a storm situation.
Mhm.
You know, for 2-3 days, we're going to be getting storms.
Right.
You know, it may not hit your exact area, it could pop up somewhere else, but the chances are you could get hit. If you don't have that insurance agent's phone number, I would get a different agent.
Okay.
Personally,
Okay.
I mean, they're making a commission off of every single payment you make.
Right.
You are their client,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, the good ones do that.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah.
why wouldn't you ask for that? I mean, financial, same thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right. Sure.
they get
yeah.
a number.
Right.
You're
exactly.
a client. You're
Okay.
a client. It's just not somebody searching for somebody.
Yeah.
I'm an actual client. So that would be the first thing. Second thing is to always make sure you have a copy of your policy. Know your deductibles. Typically, a lot of people are going with a higher premium, or lower premiums, I'm sorry, with a higher deductible.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at a situation, and that's why phone call to me can sometimes help that. If you've got a flooded basement and maybe it's only going to be $1,500
Yeah.
to clean it out, do you make a claim when your deductible's $1,000?
Right. Yeah.
It's an iffy, and some
Sure.
people are scraping by, and I understand that. But if you have the funds to do it yourself and not make a claim,
Uh-huh.
you don't ding your policy.
Right.
So this is
right.
going back to education of the client. It's like, don't just call claims. Don't just call claims,
Mhm.
ever.
Mm-hmm.
Call your agent.
Right.
Call your agent. Nothing is an emergency. A fire is not an emergency. You're not getting back in your house the next day.
Right. Right.
A flood, but typically you can live through that because you can get out of it. You
Right,
don't die
right.
in something like that.
Sure.
Tornadoes, you should be away from the building in someplace safe,
Right.
hopefully.
Right.
So yeah, typically that's the couple of things that I recommend to people is that always have your emergency kits available. And you know what, if you got kids, they're in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, I can guarantee you that they've got a badge or something that they can earn for making a family emergency kit. And I highly recommend that.
So actually, a person who is aware should probably call you before they call their insurance person even.
I wouldn't recommend that, honestly,
Okay.
because the relationship you have with your insurance agent, they don't have to call claims.
Mm-hmm.
You're their client, so they can recommend to them. They could be saying the same thing I'm saying. Let's look at what your deductible is.
Yeah.
Let's get somebody out there to estimate it and tell us before we pull the gun and ding the policy.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make your rates go up.
Okay.
It's just going to make your rates go up.
Okay. So does most of your business come then from agents?
I would say now that probably about 30% of my business does, but
Okay.
when I started, it was 80 to 90%. It's
Okay.
just that now that we've morphed into contractors for everything,
Okay.
it doesn't mean that I'm still not dealing with all those agents. I am,
Yeah.
but since the business model has gotten bigger,
Yeah.
a portion of it isn't as large anymore.
Okay.
It's still my heart and soul, though.
Yeah.
Totally,
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. Now, in other industries, obviously subcontractors are prevalent in construction, but if somebody's in some other industry, they want to use a subcontractor for computer or something, would you sort of recommend the same kinds of questions you'd ask them?
As far as the contractors or who they're going to use?
Whoever they're going to use as their...
Well, it depends on what the project is, of course. But in any, like a home situation, like you're just doing a remodel or a business, you're going to do a build out and change some things on, expand the building, whatever the case, you should always be getting 2 to 3 estimates.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny part about that, Jim, is that it's typically the middle bidder that they go with that I've found.
Okay.
And a lot of it also plays into a relationship because you think about it, you are quote unquote dating someone from the duration of this project. We got people in your house, and I've got a girlfriend, 8 weeks before she gets back her house, and she's still living there. So I mean, it's crazy, but you do kind of have to go with that a relationship, and you can. It's funny how people will pick different ones based on age, based on nationality, based on all kinds of who knows why. It's just they just feel like a connection. Like, man, I can talk to this person a lot for the next 8 weeks. And they're not going to be like fingernails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. You know what? I was just thinking. A friend of mine once had a big problem because they put an addition on their house, and they were paying the general contractor, but he didn't pay the subcontractors. So then the subcontractors were putting liens on them. They had to pay some guys twice. Maybe you could just tell, because most homeowners, don't go through this every day. How do these liens work, and what should people be aware of?
Well, basically, the main guy is a general contractor, because the claim is going to be paid by the insurance company. Okay, so then it goes back into, like, as an insurance claim. They start looking exactly the stages of the project, who signed off on what, whose liability was what, and it's almost like they make a CSI crime board. Okay. And it's fun to actually go see one of these guys that speaks on it, because it's quite an interesting field to analyze a construction, because there's lots of reasons you get sued. There could be a death. There could be an injury on the project. One of the guys got injured. Who's liable? Who did what? So it's up to them to decide. Unfortunately, it's going to be the adjuster, but they're going to take it apart, and it's not, in a case like that, it's not with an attorney on their side and the insurance company on their side, which is the insurance company's attorney. Right. They're going to fight.
Yeah.
So
sure.
He should have worked out okay with that one, I would think.
Yeah. Well, they eventually figured it out. I don't remember all the exact details. Well, so if somebody would like to contact you to further discussion, or they need a project of some sort in their home, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, you can call me at 630-805-0651. You can go online, Restoration Coalition. Seems like a little mouthful, but you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook page, Twitter, all the other fun things. I think I'm on Pinterest, because I got people following me, so I'm not sure about that.
I got people following me too, but they're not usually, they're from agencies. I don't really want following me. But I'm just kidding. But anyway, and you can reach me, of course, Jim Wazak, 630-272-3895. Have me talk to you about supplemental cancer insurance, something everybody should have. So thank you very much, Marina.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, viewers. We'll catch you next time.
Have a blessed day.